clearly.
Don't shout at Leo. Hiya, this week's assembly is celebrating International Women's Day. So on the 8th of March this week, it was International Women's Day, and the theme for this year's International Women's Day was to challenge. Challenge people to create a more inclusive world. How are we going to do that? Well, International Women's Day asks you to celebrate women's achievement, to raise awareness against bias, and to take action for equality. Can't click through. Hiya, this week's assembly is about celebrating International Women's Day. So on the 8th of March this week, it was International Women's Day, and around the world, people came together to try and forge a more inclusive world. How did they do that? They did that by celebrating women's achievement, by raising awareness against bias and taking action for equality. So it's a global day, it's not just in Great Britain, and it's celebrating the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women. It also marks a kind of call to action, so to ask people to take a stand for accelerating gender parity. There are lots of things that go on around the world as people come together to celebrate achievement or rally together to fight for equal rights. And we do this on March the 8th, International Women's Day. So it's a special day put aside where we look at everything wonderful that women can do. We raise awareness about the fact that women are still in some areas fighting for equality. We lobby for accelerated gender parity. So we ask companies, we ask businesses, we ask political parties to ensure that they are treating both genders equally, and we fundraise for female-focused charities. So interestingly, my recommended read this week is actually a book about men. So it's a book by a comedian called Richard Herring, and it's called The Problem with Men. And the subtitle is When is International Men's Day and Why It Matters? And the book is actually about International Women's Day, but with the focus on men. And I think it's a really interesting take on the situation. So I will read in Richard's own words. He says, when is International Men's Day? I don't remember which year I first saw this question raised on Twitter, but I can tell you the date. It was March the 8th. And I know this because March the 8th is International Women's Day. You might be wondering why anyone would ask that question on, according to the International Women's Day website, a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality. It's surely not unreasonable to set aside 24 hours out of the 8,760 annually available to celebrate the slightly more than 50% of the world's population. Let's be generous and say that the people asking when is International Men's Day on International Women's Day are attempting to make some kind of joke. It's a clever and subtle one though, so I feel we'll have to walk you through it. In just 4 words, they are pointing out that even though International Women's Day supposedly promotes equality, there is presumably no equivalent for men. That's not very balanced, is it? It's a bit sexist when you think about it. On top of that is the inference that there could never be a day to venerate men due to political correctness gone mad. It wouldn't even be allowed because men are the underclass in today's topsy-turvy world. It is, you have to admit, a brilliant and concise piece of social satire worthy of Jonathan Swift. If it weren't for one tiny thing. There is an International Men's Day. It's on November the 19th. Still, you have to admire the confidence that allows someone to fire their fated question out into the world without even pausing to check Google, just to ensure they don't end up looking like an idiot. So Richard Herring's argument is that on International Women's Day, the day when we should be celebrating women, throughout the internet, millions of men post the question, well, when's International Men's Day? The irony is there is an International Men's Day, but men feel that they have to ask that question on the day that we're supposed to be celebrating women because they feel they don't have their day. Well, they do have their day. It's November the 19th. So on International Men's Day, we celebrate and we look at specific problems that impact on men. And on International Women's Day, we celebrate and we look at specific issues that impact on women. hence celebrating women who've achieved well and supporting charities that help women who are struggling. So let's have a look now at just a few of the awesome and strong, confident, beautiful and elegant women out there.